95.6 FM, BBC WM.
You're about to hear from two of probably the most creative men we have about in Birmingham, graffiti artist Muhammad Ali and Birmingham's 96 Poet Laureate Dreadlock Alien. They're going to be coming together in 2 weeks' time to perform a one-off special show called Writing on the Wall. It's taking place at Birmingham Repertory Theatre and in particular in the workshop there, which is actually going to be demolished then in a couple of weeks' time as well. So let's find out more about this rather peculiar venture. First of all, welcome, Mohammed, to Midlands Masala again.
Thank you, Sarah.
Hi, and a very warm welcome, Dreadlock Alien, to Midlands Masala.
Greetings.
Hi. Right, I'm going to start off with you, Mohammed, first of all, because, you know, you come in here and it's you to talk about an international project, finally, something here in Birmingham that you're doing. But what a bizarre project. What are you actually doing in the workshop of the Repertory Theatre?
Well, I've been planning this project for many years now. I've always said when I do a big one in Birmingham, it's got to be something special. So I've been planning this for a while, and I thought, you know, unlike a lot of my projects, which are, you know, murals or creating some art in the street somewhere or an exhibition, I thought I want to do something a bit different. And this is a collaboration between myself as a visual artist with some of the best poets around, Dreadlock being one of them, and there's two others as well, which you didn't mention, Zena Edwards and Amir Suleiman from the USA. So I wanted the best poets that I could get my hands on, basically, and collaborate and literally take over the theatre space and create a kind of a weaving together of the poetry and the visuals in a public space and create live art, basically.
Dreadlock Alien, when you were sort of presented with this idea as a writer, somebody who is a man of words, being approached by a man of art, what was your initial reaction?
I'm very humbled to be asked to start with. Very excited about the collaboration. Poets nowadays collaborate in many different art forms. And yeah, writing's always been on the wall. Muhammad Ali's work speaks volumes. With the few words and pictures that he does. So it's a great way of producing some really high-quality art, really.
So what is the challenge then for, Mohammed, I'll start with you. For you as an artist, what's the challenge when it comes to trying to fuse it with all these great poetry artists?
Well, we've set a kind of a brief, a theme almost, a brief for the poets, and they go away and do their writing. We kept it very broad. They give me their poems, and I kind of try and interpret that visually and create that on the walls. In advance, I've been working for the past week and a half now, right up to the event. But there'll also be a big live element. So while the poets are performing, literally while it's rolling off their tongue in the space, I'll be kind of at the same time be spraying the words literally up the side of the walls. So it really is quite exciting for me. It was the first project of its kind that I've done like this. It's going to be a challenge, certainly, and really only when we're in the space together, we're going to be, you know, during the rehearsals, we're going to be able to work together, because a lot of the poets are they're on the other side of the world, some of them. One of them's in USA, Dreadlock's in the Midlands, Zena Edwards is in London. So when we come together, that's when the real ideas will come kind of flowing through.
Dreadlock, for you then, you know, you're going to come to this theatrical space with your words.
Yep.
You've been given your brief. How does that then allow you to create and almost to use what you want to do from the heart? Because is there not some sort of restriction being put onto you when you're presented with sort of a brief in the first place as a writer?
For me, I see where you're coming from. That's not our job. We just produce the high-quality ingredients. We've got a producer-director, a legend from hip-hop theatre called John Z.D. It's his brief and his responsibility to fuse it all. He's got a wealth of experience. I'm really looking forward to working with him. I know that we've got two poets that I adore and would stand up strong in any performance. So how he blends that would be great. I'm not a very good dancer, so I'm not looking forward to any dance suggestions. But yeah, movement, any music, rhythm. John Z.D. is a specialist producer of hip-hop theatre, so we're looking very much forward to seeing what he comes up with. We've all got our ideas as well, but we're all professionals, so we'll be rehearsing hard to produce a high-quality show.
So what are you actually going to be doing then?
I've written 9 minutes worth of performance poetry that I'm busy memorising. There's not much grey matter left in my brain with all the poems, but I will force 9 minutes within there. And then we take that to rehearsals, and we see how we can use those different elements, and that's where John Z.D. Creates live art, really. Then we rehearse, we do timing, We polish up our individual pieces that we've been working on for the last couple of months. And yeah, for a one-off night, and then we have to forget them all for the next day.
Yeah, well, it must be quite bizarre having this sort of almost huge lead-up time to just the one night, and then to know that actually this space is going to be destroyed afterwards.
Yeah, we're literally going to bring the house down a couple of weeks later. I think it's a one-off. Art often isn't very prescriptive. It's the moment. So this was a moment, a huge space, impact, and it's great. It's been seized upon, and we're actually going to use that space for art and create a moment, a night that people will not forget, really.
Dreadlock, thank you very much for giving an insight into your role. Coming back to Mohammed then, like you said, a completely different venture for you. What motivated you to do this in the Birmingham Repertory Theatre?
Well, as I said, I mean, I've travelled, to major cities across the globe. I've been very fortunate, that I've seen different communities and worked in cities like Sydney, New York, Melbourne, Australia. And really, I've always had a passion for my hometown of Birmingham. Me being born and raised here, I wanted to do something in my city, and I've been planning this for literally. It's been about 4 years in the making now, and what I wanted to do was bring something. It's like my big homecoming. Do something in my city, funded by the Arts Council, in one of the most respected theatres venues in the city. I thought this is my big one for the people of my city. And for everyone, we definitely hope that this is definitely a unique event, and it will attract attention from outside of the region. In that there's nothing really has been, as far as I know, not much has done like this before in terms of graffiti and taking it on to that next level. You
are though known for your Islamic graffiti, so are you going to bring elements of the Islamic graffiti into this?
There certainly will be some inspiration in terms of a lot of the values and the words that I explore are kind of words that are inspired by faith, but often they're not often all the time. These are principles shared by all people of all faith, and certainly there's some influence of the kind of the beautiful kind of Islamic Arabic calligraphy, which is very aesthetic, and even if you can't read it, it has a certain beauty and elegance about it. So yeah, no doubt there's elements of that incorporated into it as well.
And for you then, when these great poets will come with their words, the actual artistic process will be pretty spontaneous, I suppose, won't it, on your part?
Well, certainly there's a live element to it, yes, no doubt. On the show, with the lighting and creating the ambience and all of that, it's going to be really kind of exciting how that kind of evolves, really. It's going to be kind of a natural evolution, but there has been a lot of planning. This, as I said, for months we've been planning ahead for this project. This is the biggest project I think I've ever, got my teeth stuck into, and it's the most exciting. And I honestly, it's just brilliant to be part of it. And I'd recommend anybody to come and just see it take place. It's a historical show.
It's all a bit sort of weird at the moment, because it's so organic. That it's almost hard to encapsulate what it's going to be like, isn't it?
This is the thing. Some people have really couldn't quite understand what is this all about.
Yeah.
Is it an art exhibition? Is it a poetry performance? Is it going to be a stage? Is it a seated area? No, this is something like what you think it will be. It won't be that. Just put it that way. This is a standing event, so it's like a 360 experience. You go in the space. There's no seats at all. It's like a big, rugged warehouse space, very urban, kind of gritty feel is what we try to get in there. 360 experience where you're going to be kind of literally surrounded by the colour, the poets themselves. There won't be no kind of
barrier between the two.
That's right. There will be kind of within the crowd almost, and the poetry is almost created into a theatrical experience. So we're taking graffiti art and poetry and turning it into a kind of a theatre performance.
Dreadlock, you must be looking very, very forward to this.
Yes, definitely. There's wholly for talent, and I have a motto: if you want to look good, you hang around with talented people. So a whole lot of talented artists come in. It's going to be great.
21st of January is when it happens, which is a Thursday evening. How can people find out more information about Writing on the Wall?
They can go to the website birmingham-rep.co.uk. They can purchase tickets from there as well.
Here's Mohammed Ali, okay, our graffiti artist here in Birmingham, inviting you to the Birmingham Rep on the 21st of Jan for Writing on the Wall. And, of course, mustn't forget Dreadlock Alien as well. Thank you very much for joining us tonight as well, Dreadlock.